Now, something that's really going to impress university admissions officers from the world's elite universities like Oxford or Stanford is the great books you've been reading and the way you're able to talk about them in an interview or in your personal statement or in any essays you might write for your university application. This video will explain to you why it's so important to be a real bookworm, how you can read effectively, and which books you should read in order to give yourself the edge in your university application. So I'm a graduate of Oxford University and I'm also a teacher who's successfully got many students into the world's elite universities. And one thing I always do with those high-flying students to give them a push is to make sure that they're always reading great books and to talk to them about those books regularly. Why? Reading just links up the synapses in your head in a way that other activities don't. If you read a lot, you are hardwiring your brain to think in a way that non-readers just can't. You're also expanding your vocabulary enormously, and vocabulary is directly linked to intelligence. Now, I have talked in other videos about why it's so important to read. Click on the link, and I've also done an entire course, which I've put on Udemy, about how to read effectively. And I'll put that link in the description to this video. Basically, I take you through a process called the active reading skills cycle. You learn to predict, check your predictions, clear up any confusion you might have about texts, ask deeper questions and summarise them. There are also a couple of videos about how to read in a more advanced way by analysing in great depth. So I really recommend you try out that course to improve your reading skills. The other thing I've done, which I'm really excited about, is I've created a GPT to help you with your reading. This is an AI tutor using ChatGPT technology. What it does is it talks you through the process that I've described in my videos. You can talk to it and it helps you to predict, to ask questions, to analyse texts in more depth. It's really interesting, and the great thing about it is that you can use it with any book that you're reading, fiction or non-fiction. I really need people to try it out so that I can refine it and make it really great. It does use ChatGPT's technology, which has been known to hallucinate, right? So if you test it and let me know what's good and what needs improving, then I can change it to make it better. You do have to be someone who's subscribing to ChatGPT 4 to use this, by the way. I'll put a link to it also in the description for this video. If you have academic interviews to get into the world's top universities, then the people interviewing you are guaranteed to ask you what books you've been reading. And even if you don't have those interviews, you should be writing about great books in your personal statement or in your essays you write for your application. So what books should you be reading? Well, if you tell them you've been reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid or The Hunger Games, well. But if you've been reading high quality literary works or historical or political non-fiction, well, that's another story. So what should you be reading to impress university admissions officers? Well, I'm a literature grad, so I can really tell you about what literary books you could read to really give yourself a boost. And I'm going to give you a link to that list, and I'm going to put that link in the description to the video. But what should you be reading if you're not applying to study literature? I can't really tell you about that because I'm not an expert, but your teachers can. Go to your teachers, tell them what you're interested in, and they'll recommend the books you need to read to you. In summary, reading quality books is something that will really impress university admissions officers. Watch my course on how to read effectively and ask your teachers what books you should be reading. Check out my GPT, who works as an AI tutor to help you with your reading skills, and let me know what you think of it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then you'll find out as soon as I post my next video on unlocking elite universities. And click on the thumbnail on the screen now to check out this video on why it's so important to read.